Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Han Solo, and welcome to the Soloverse. So today I want to talk about how I was put on comics and movies at a very young age. See, my mom used to bring home comics from her job, and she used to give them to my older brother. But once he grew out of them, he passed them down to me. Now, I lost all these comics due to a flood. When you stay in Houston, Texas, that's what happens. But I had comics like Captain America, X-Men, Hulk, almost every X-Men comic book that was out around, the early 2000s, I had, and they was amazing, which is what put me on to superheroes deeply, besides the cartoons we grew up watching back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And then I was also introduced to the movies, where I was first put on Blade cinematically, and I also got a chance to finally see Spider-Man live action for the first time back in the day when Tobey Maguire was the first Spider-Man on the big screen. Now, this is the stuff that really drew me to it, but also hip-hop and music. Now, with hip-hop, it's one of the biggest influence, next to comics, and they both go hand in hand. Which one of my favorite hip-hop artists out there, who is Method Man, who basically explains on why comics are amazing and why some people from the hood just really love it. So I'm gonna play this Throwback Thursday video for you on him explaining why comics are so dope.
In the 90s, we were coming up out of the crack era, right? It was still lingering around. There were still, traces of the destruction that it caused in our area. For a lot of people, the escape was music, comic books, whatever, TV, whatever. My escape was comic books. Basically, it was mostly X-Men, Hulk sometimes, Spider-Man, the McFarlane years. You know how many alternate Spider-Man #1 covers I got, man? Crazy. I got the platinum one. I got the it's the holographic type paper one. I got the one with the card in it. I got the one with the certificate in the back. In my collection, my most prized possession is my first appearance of Wolverine. I was turned on by that off top because that was the first time I had seen a book where all these different characters weren't they didn't have an origin story where it was radioactive, something did this, they were born with these powers. I've always liked things like that, like teams, like movies like Magnificent Seven or Five Deadly Venoms where, it's the individuals, but they all come together as a group and they all have their own personalities that shine out in different ways, and you get to pick which one you like the most out of all of them. It's funny that my start would be with a group of guys, and we sort of like a hip-hop X-Men, I guess. Everybody played their own different part. I think around the 90s is when us as geeks said, you can't call these books comic books. You can't call this a comic book. This is a graphic novel. As many pages as there are in there. And it was a demand for respect for the cultures that us as kids felt should have been put in the forefront in the first freaking place. What book I did get into was this Black Panther Limited joint, and he went up against the Supremacists. And these were superheroes supporting not superheroes, they were like a team. The Supremacists were like these racist, basically it was apartheid, and he was fighting apartheid while fighting these guys who called themselves the Supremacists.
That's right.
Yeah.
We actually interviewed the guy that wrote that.
Nice. Was he black?
No. Not even a little bit.
Wow. Wow. Well, he did a good